Hello everybody and welcome back. Pokemon Sapphire. I talked a lot yesterday. I had the sleepy sillies. I was sleep drunk. But I am very well rested today. Oh, and we are ready to pick up where we left off. I don't have any revives though. I'm pretty sure we had some fainted. Yeah, okay. Let me... I hate to do this, but let me run all the way back and heal. I know. The thing is, like yesterday I was talking so much that I really wasn't paying too much attention to what I was doing in game. Goes with the territory, I suppose. Very good at talking, playing the game at the same time. I'm also having problems with my microphone wire that I've yet to figure out. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point. I also need this lumbre. Like, the wire that runs from the microphone to the computer seems fine, but it's extremely short. It barely runs from the length of the computer to the microphone stand. So what I need to do is I need to use an extension cord, which I have like 3 or 4 USB extension cords. It's just USB, and for whatever reason, it's when I jiggle the wire, it's causing the microphone to cut out, and I have to go in and like tell the program to recognize it again. It's a headache. Headache indeed. I have my smartwatch on today. The golden eye. I don't know if you can see it. I always wanted an Inspector Gadget watch ever since I was a kid, or a James Bond watch. I never saw smartwatches coming. Who could have ever seen that being a thing? We are twisted today. Look at that. Not my baldness. But of course it doesn't affect. A lot of these shirts that I have, like I'm wearing the Pokeball shirt today. I've got my Mega Evolution necklace. I was in a Pokemon mood today. But a lot of my shirts are very tight fitting, so I can lose some more weight. I wasn't this big when I bought all these shirts initially. I've put on a lot of weight. Lumbre's entire body is covered by a slippery, slimy film. It feels horribly unpleasant to be touched by this Pokemon's hands. Lumbre is often mistaken for a human child. Wow! It's green! How do you mistake it for a human child? That's like in cartoons when a character just puts on a hat and all of a sudden, oh, it's a person. No, it's still clearly not a human being. Okay. I personally feel like our team is well-rounded. We just need to get to a point where Numel is not fainting every single battle. Damn it. We never caught Lotad? I could have sworn we caught Lotad. Okay. Not growl. Whatever will I do? Ooh, it's burned. Okay, well that puts the pressure on to catch it then. Lotad is said to have dwelled on land before. However, this Pokemon is thought to have returned to water because the leaf on its head grew large and heavy. It now lives by floating atop the water. It's so hard to maneuver using a bike. Woo! Lunatone! Let's see what secret power will do. Oh, I was about to say, why did it do so much damage? Critical hit. That'll do it. Not confusioned. Not I am confusioned. It's burned though. It's gonna make my job a hell of a lot easier. Get out here, Marshtomp. We need your help. Yes, we desperately need your help. Let's get rid of this Premier Ball. It's not going to stay in it anyway. Damn you, reverse psychology! Lunatone becomes active around the time of the full moon. Instead of walking, it moves by floating in midair. Another way of saying that is, it hovers. The Pokemon's intimidating red eyes cause all those who see it to become transfixed with fear. So I didn't leave the house for the last 8 days. And I left the house this morning. I woke up at 2 a.m. because my sleep is rotating back around. So around 5 a.m., a little after, I decided to hop in the car and play some Pokemon Go. It had been a while. And yesterday I finally paid my phone bill. My phone's been off a couple of days. And I went out to play, and they're doing an event right now, so I caught Captain Pikachu. You know, he folds his arms and he has the captain hat from the new anime. And I found a shiny one, which was nice. Team Magma's here too. Maxi. So basically, Team Aqua wants to expand the sea, Team Magma wants to expand the land. I feel like expanding the land is far less dangerous than expanding the ocean, but both are bad. You need to let things happen naturally. Zubat. You know what? I'll fight it. I thought we were going to be fighting some team members in this cave. That's why I went back and healed. Oh, I read that as Chozo, and I was like, what? Cosmo. Mount Chimney. That's where we need to head to. So I wanted to address something today, and I know we're in the middle of a Pokemon playthrough. And this is typically the kind of thing where YouTubers will like make an entire dedicated video where they're just sitting, you know, face cam. They don't have a game on screen or anything, but that's okay. We do things a little differently here. I don't usually address things. I usually just talk about whatever randomly comes to my brain. But I feel like now is as good a time as any to discuss this with you guys, because some of you may have questions. Some of you may be wondering, like if you've been watching for a while, you may have noticed some changes in my behavior over time. One second. Every single time I go to stream, my voice wants to get scraggly, and I don't know why. Why can't I escape? But I'll title the episode something in a way to where it'll be easy to find if you just go to my channel and type it in. But I wanted to discuss what's been happening with me lately, and what's been happening over the past 7 to 8 years. Thankfully, I'm a small YouTuber, practically non-existent. Like, I really don't get any views and don't really have any subscribers, but I still believe in transparency. Not that you need to dump every little thing about your life onto the internet. It's totally at the discretion of the person who's making the content, of course. But I got nothing else to talk about today. I got nothing else going on. I'm doing 2 streams today. We're doing the Pokemon stream early, and then if I don't go into a coma later and sleep for 10 hours, we're going to try to squeeze in some Federation Force. But back around 2009, I had somewhat of like a little mental breakdown. Years of like clinical depression and stuff caught up to me. Like I avoided it. I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't seek therapy. I didn't get help with it. So I had a breakdown. It wasn't I can't say it wasn't bad. I was suicidal. It was the worst shape I've ever been in my life. And, but I did a little bit of recovering from it. You know, things got better. Spent a lot of time with my friends. We played games. Things improved over time. Then in 2016, it happened again. Breakdown number 2. Somewhere in between 2009 and 2015, I had started seeing a doctor. I was seeing a doctor and a therapist, or a counselor, however you want to call it. 2 different professionals under the same roof in the same building, but just 2 different rooms that I'd have to go in and talk to them about what was happening. And I got prescribed antidepressants and stuff like that. And they warned me, they were like, you know, when you go on antidepressants, most people tend to gain weight. You know, they tend to comfort eat. And I already had a problem with food. I've had a eating disorder my entire life where I use food as a coping mechanism when I'm depressed or whatever. So yeah, I gained a lot of weight. In the past 7 years, I have eaten myself up to the heaviest weight that I've ever been, which is 400 pounds. I'm still very mobile, thankfully. I can bend over, I can tie my own shoes, I can still do everything. I have my full range of motion, but my back and my knees give out fast if I try to walk a lot, you know, or if I'm very active in my day. So I'm definitely limited physically, but there was a little snafu with the place I was going to. I had filled out some paperwork to get some financial aid because I didn't have health insurance. And they gave it to me. So instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a visit, I was paying like $20, $25 copay. Or no, it was $20 or $25, something like that. Everything was going well. Then one day, they just stopped taking payment. The lady, like, it wasn't just one person fucking up either. This was multiple ladies behind the counter. I come in, sign in, and they wouldn't take money. And I said, "You sure I don't need to pay?" "No, you're good, you're good." Then when I come out from the back and the appointment was over, before I left, I double checked. I was like, "You sure I don't need to pay anything?" "No, you're good. We'll see you in your next appointment." They did that a handful of times. So it ended up screwing me over because they called me one day out of the blue and they said, "You owe like 500 something dollars." I think it was either 200 something or 500 something. I want to say 500 something. It was astronomical. And I was livid. I argued with the lady on the phone over it. You know, I said, "It's not my fault. The ladies behind the counter didn't ask for the money." I don't think she believed that. But funny enough, shortly after that, the ladies that worked behind the counter were no longer there and they had new employees, so. But at that point, I had already been put on several antidepressants. We had tried several different name brands. We had tried several different generic brands. Nothing was really getting it done until we started Lexapro. I started taking Excelopram, which is generic for Lexapro, and it was working. But it wasn't enough to combat the dark place that I was in. So we ended up, at the end of the whole thing, we ended up on 20 milligrams of Lexapro, which I'm to understand is a very high dosage. So I ended up not being able to pay to keep going to this place I was going to. But it's very dangerous to cold turkey medication like that. So I spoke with my regular doctor and said, "Hey, can you prescribe this in their absence? The medication's working. I feel fine. I'm getting by my day." She said, "Yeah, sure." So over the course of the last handful of years, I've been taking medication without seeing anyone on the therapy side. And I've just been blindly taking a high dosage for 7 years now, just about, which you're not really supposed to do. But what do you do when you live in a backward ass country like America, who doesn't give a shit enough about its citizens to offer universal health care? You know, we've got a very fucked up medical system here. So that old meme of, guess I'll die. But what happened as a result of all of this is I became super foggy, and I didn't, you know, I mentally, I got locked into a brain fog, and I didn't know that I existed. I didn't know I was in the world, and I ate like crazy. I would eat from the time I got up to the time I went to bed, just binge eating, always eating. I lost my mobility. Slowly but surely, my weight went up, and I had no discipline. I had no willpower. I was over-medicated, and things got super dark towards the end of 2022 and 2023 again. I was back on my depression. Medication wasn't helping. If anything, it was making me more miserable than I already was. So I started taking 2 doses a day. Again, none of this is doctor, you know, I have no doctor over me watching all of this happen. It's just happening. So I'm drugged out of my mind, and I'm doing these streams on Twitch and YouTube where I'm just asleep, essentially, you know, through the whole stream. And meanwhile, I'm sleeping 16 plus hours a day. At the worst of it, one day I slept 20 hours. One day I managed to make I got 20 hours worth of sleep. No matter how much sleep I had, I was always dead tired. Turns out, I also had sleep apnea. So on top of being morbidly obese and having sleep apnea and taking a dangerous amount of antidepressants, I was so out of it in my head that it's amazing that I was even able to function and put words together to make a sentence. It's amazing that I wasn't sitting here just drooling on stream. So that has been what's been happening for a while. Back around October of last year, you know, I think was the worst of it. There were some people who showed up, some new people who showed up in the town I live in. Young people, teenagers, early 20s, just little shitbags at that age, you know. And they were causing trouble with the Pokemon Go community. And that was kind of messing with my nerves and whatnot. So that was when it dawned on me. It was around that time there was a streamer I was watching who said something about being overly medicated on antidepressants, and I thought, oh, is that a thing that can happen? Because I'm an idiot. I don't know anything about anything. So in November of last year, in November of 2023, I had already stopped taking 2. I'd stopped abusing the pills, and I was just taking the 1 prescribed a day. So that's 20 milligrams of Accelopram a day. And I started cutting the pills in half. The difference was night and day. I felt alert and alive again. And it started to slowly dawn on me where I had been and what I had been doing to myself all that time. Then the holidays came and seasonal depression sat in. So I started taking the full 20 again, and I went back into the brain fog. Then, about, I'd say the end of January, I started going back to cutting them in half to 10. Then, about a week or two ago, I started cutting the 10s into 5s. So at the moment, I'm taking 5 milligrams a day, no more, no less. And my ultimate goal is to completely get off of them, period. Like, I'm 39 years old. I'll be 40 in September. I shouldn't need a pharmacy to get me through my day. I don't want to live like that. I was telling my friend Tyler the other day, I've lost my 30s. My entire 30s are just gone because of this bullshit. And I'll never get them back. I spent most of my 30s in a fog. They're just gone. And I don't want to go through my 40s like that. So now I have all these ill-fitting shirts that I can't really wear because they're so tight. I've gained all this weight. And I feel like I've missed so much. And my first instinct is to say it's my fault. I did it to myself. But at the same time, I don't feel right blaming myself entirely. I feel like the system that we have in place failed me. I feel like the government failed me. I feel like the healthcare system failed me. I feel like the world failed me. When I ended up getting pneumonia around Christmas of 2022. And I had pneumonia from Christmas all the way through New Year's. And I couldn't get in to see the doctor. So I went to a place called Urgent Care here in town. And they basically said, well, you don't have insurance. We can't treat you. We can't see you. In my brain, I'm screaming, Hippocratic oath? Hello? You are a doctor. You can't just turn people away. Fucking what? But they were like, yeah, you can go to the emergency room. They can't send people away. So I ended up going to the emergency room. And yeah, they did some x-ray, chest x-rays and everything, and took some blood work and everything. Yeah, I had pneumonia. Then, because I went to the hospital, I contracted COVID. I had avoided getting COVID for like 3 or 4 years, and it finally caught up to me. So I had pneumonia on top of COVID. I don't know how I didn't die. You guys, I'm not kidding when I tell you this. I have no earthly idea how I'm still alive after all of the bullshit that I have been through on a regular basis. But I'm alert. I'm conscious. I'm not under the influence of those pills anymore. I'm not under heavy brain fog. All I have to do now is just focus every day on trying to get better. You know, my top priority now is to lose some weight. And just struggle every day to get better. I have my fingers crossed that I don't have another, you know, that the clinical depression can be bad at times. But back in 2009 and 2016, it was so bad that it caused this domino effect of everything that I just told you about. So I am hoping beyond hope that when it happens again, and it's a when, it's not if, it's when it happens again. Hopefully this time I'm older, wiser. I've learned coping mechanisms. Feel like I can get through it without needing pills. And, you know, I don't ever drink alcohol. I don't like alcohol. I don't do drugs. I'm a pretty clean, straightforward person outside of this one little snafu that I've had. Like, there's been plenty of times where I've gone to the doctor and I'm like, all right, doc, I'm fat and my knees hurt, my back hurts. And their first instinct is, here's some pain pills. And I'm always like, no, 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 no. I don't, I have a handful of aunts, uncles, and cousins. And when I say handful, I mean like, you can't count them all on two hands, who have spent my entire life abusing alcohol and pills. I had an aunt who used to break her bones on purpose just to get pain pills. So no, I understand that this family has a problem with addiction, and I don't want to give myself any vices. I mean, look at me. I'm fat. I have an eating problem. My drug of choice has always been food. Well, no. What am I doing? Okay, we're all healed up. Back in Rustboro. We need to go and clear the path so the guy can get through. And then we need to head to Mount Chimney. Anywho, that's, I felt like getting that off my chest. I was telling my friend Thomas about it earlier. We met up in person because it was easier than trying to type all that in Discord. And I knew that I'd have to like catch you guys up eventually. But there it is. The sucky thing about it is that when I was deep into it, I didn't know that I was, you know what I mean? Like when I was taking, when I exceeded the dosage, when I exceeded the allotted dosage that on the bottle and I was taking too much, I didn't know I was doing it. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know. I don't know if that makes any sense. But what the scariest part of all of it, like is truly the worst part about that entire thing that I just, entire story I just told. The scariest part was not being self-aware while I was in the middle of it. Terrifying. And when I was seeing the therapist or the counselor, they call them counselors, but we'll just say therapists. They wanted you to learn, you know, coping mechanisms. And obviously sometimes depression can be so bad that there's no coping mechanism you can use. You just have to write it out or seek emergency medical care. But they were very honest from the get-go of like, we're not just here to medicate everybody. We want you to like, we want you to undergo therapy. We want you to understand why that you're having the feelings that you're having and why you think the way you do. Because with a lot of people, the depression could be situational. It could be a stressful job, failing marriage. It could be a lot of things. Sometimes depression is just chemical in the brain. You could have a good life and still be super depressed. So until they could get to the bottom of what was causing it, and with me it's chemical in the brain, I have no control over it. Like my situation in life, it doesn't play a factor into it. I mean, I guess technically it does on some level, but it's not like the driving force behind it. So but the fallout from all of this is I'm having a real tough time maintaining a proper for about a week or so, I was going to bed at 9, 10 o'clock at night and getting up in the mornings. And every night it kept rolling back later and later until I screwed myself up. And that's where I'm at now. I've got the CPAP machine that helps, but I'm still tired. Like right now, I got up at 2 a.m. It's just shy of 11 a.m. and I was feeling pretty energetic when I sat down to do this stream, but now my eyes are starting to get heavy, so I'll probably have to take an afternoon nap. So I'm just going to call it recovery. The hardest part of my recovery is going to be getting the food under control, the eating habit under control, and then getting the sleep cycle back under control. Because through this whole thing, I've had no control whatsoever. I've had no willpower, no discipline. All I've had is just misery on top of other misery. And it's really, you want to know what's really truly evil about the whole thing? I can be suicidally depressed, but have total control over my actions. Or I can alleviate the depression and have zero control over my actions. Like I'll just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. It's exhausting, let me tell you. Oh, and the guilt. Don't get me started on the guilt. There are people in the world who are starving to death. There are people who can't afford to pay their bills, can't afford to pay rent. There are people with cancer. There are people with disease. There are children in the streets starving barefoot with no home and no food. There's so much war and poverty. There's so much in the world. So many billions of people that have it way worse than I do. The guilt I feel over going through everything I've explained to you today is astronomical. Because in my head, I'm depressed, I'm taking medication, I'm going to the doctor, I'm whining to them about how I feel, and the whole time in my head, I'm just like, you piece of shit, look at you. You privileged first world ass needing medication because you're depressed. I always felt so conflicted. And I'll tell you whose damn fault that is. It goes back to being the system. It goes back to being the United States as a whole. It's everybody's fault. We stigmatize mental health. We stigmatize people going to the doctor and getting the help they need for reasons like I just said. Oh, you need to man up, you pussy. Quit being depressed. You know, if you worked a 60-hour-a-week job, you wouldn't have time to be depressed. That kind of toxic mentality makes me want to punch you in the fucking face. But I did suffer from a lot of guilt, like I said, of like, who am I, you know, to feel this way when there are people who are just have it so much worse. So that compounded the depression and made it worse. It made it so much worse. I think you gave me a repeat ball. But, you know, I started doing YouTube back around 2016, and the content I was making didn't stay up. I deleted it. But then in 2017, towards November, I started playing through Metroid Zero Mission. That stayed up. And from there, I've been consecutively on YouTube now for over 6 years, going on 7 years. And you could look through all of my content if you had such a mind to, And you can see everything I've told you today for yourself. You will see the ups and the downs. My energy levels will fluctuate. Some streams I'll be half asleep. I will literally be fighting to sit there and play with them and keep my eyes open. And then some streams I come in here and I'm manic and I'm talking 90 to nothing. You'll see it. It's all, the evidence is all right there in the YouTube channel. It's all right there. What sucks is I still am not where I need to be. I'm still in danger of all of this repeating itself because I don't have access to mental health care. I don't have access to doctors that can help. I don't have insurance, and my body is so out of shape and like rode hard because of everything I just put it through for 7 years. It's not in pristine working condition at the moment. So I feel a little screwed, very anxious about my future and what I'm going to do. I haven't worked a 9-to-5er in a while. I haven't worked a 9-to-5er since all this shit started. And I tried multiple times to get my disability from the government, you know, get a check. They denied me, and I went and got a disability lawyer and worked with them, and we even went to court a couple of times in front of a judge to argue my case, and they kept finding against me. Said that, you know, I might not be able to work the jobs I could work when I was younger, but there was still stuff out there I could do, and they just weren't going to give me my benefits. So that's where I'm at now at the moment. I'm living with family. They're supporting me. And don't think for a second I don't feel guilty about that. You know, that I'm not punching in and out like everybody else. Yeah, I feel quite a bit of guilt for that. It also adds to the depression, you know, because I'm almost 40 and I have no savings. I haven't built any kind of like retirement or anything like that, so I feel quite panicked on a regular basis, if I'm being quite honest with you guys. There's not a day goes by where I don't kind of sit and panic about money, panic about my future. Because where I live, there's not a lot of work. There's not a lot of industry. There's not a lot of jobs. The city that I live in is like 90% fast food joints. We have a Walmart, and that's about it. Anything else is going to be heavily labor-intensive stuff that I can't do anymore, like lifting and a lot of bending over. My back can't do that kind of work anymore. So, and mentally, I don't know that I could stay awake for an 8-hour shift at an office job. Hell, I don't even think I could get an office job. I didn't finish high school, and I tried for years to get my GED. I passed everything but the math. Never passed the math. Because, like, I have a learning disability. We've known I've had it since the first grade, because, like, I had to repeat. My parents chose to hold me back in the first grade, then I repeated the second grade. So I've always had problems with that. Like, I have a problem with numbers. They don't work in my head like they should, like they do with everybody else. Like, have a problem storing information and recalling it quickly. So unless I can't do math in my head, I have to write it down on paper and see it. I can't do that in my head. And I don't know. I feel royally fucked, if I'm being quite honest. And every day I just live in sheer terror of, like, what am I going to do? you know. I survived this flubub that I guess we can call it a flubub, with the medications, but where do I go now? What do I do? Like, can I make a full recovery? Have I destroyed my brain chemistry beyond repair? Like, I have questions and I don't know who to ask. Frankly, I don't know who to trust to ask. I don't know if that's something my doctor would know. I could bring it up, but I just don't know if they would know. But yeah, that's the short and tall of it. This entire YouTube channel was born out of, I don't want to use the term act of desperation, but we'll say act of desperation. I needed something to do that was constructive and something that was daily, something that I knew that if the rest of my day was garbage, and that if I failed at everything else I set out to do that day, that at least one task would get done. And that was doing my YouTube videos. And then I think I was 2 years into making videos when I started streaming on Twitch. And I carried that mentality with me through the Twitch streams too. Like, you know, just try to stream every day. The streams don't have to be great. They don't have to bring in a lot of viewers. They don't have to be funny. They don't even have to really be all that entertaining. You just need to physically sit down and do it. Hold yourself to that. And I'll tell you what, over the course of 6 years, that has saved me multiple times, knowing that I had this to sit down and do, you know? I should have changed it some Meryl. It's been rough. I feel like I've been just swimming in an endless sea that's just been bashing me repeatedly with big waves, and somehow through some miracle I have avoided drowning. And what's scary to me the most, I think, is that this could happen again like that. The whole thing could repeat itself. Because I don't have the means to see professionals to get the help that I need. So the whole thing is in danger of repeating itself. I just have to hope and trust in myself not to repeat the same mistakes. And I mean, I guess that's kind of par for the course, isn't it? You know, you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. God, I just hope I don't make the same ones all over again. But I guess that's going to be the name of the game now, is we're just going to play recovery. I'm going to try to do something about my diet, get my weight back down, do something about getting on a normal sleeping routine to where I can actually go out into the world and do things. You know, this entire fiasco has kept me from going out with my friends and doing so much. It's kept me basically... There's been plenty of days where I've just been completely bedbound. I'm not gonna lie. There have been days where either I've had no energy because of the sleeping issue, because of the pills, or the sleep apnea caused me not to get deep, regenerative sleep. And those two have compounded on many occasions to kick my ass. There have been some days where the sleep is so bad that I feel it would be irresponsible for me to drive a car. So I don't go out. I've had to really know when to take a step back during all of this and say, okay, you don't need to drive, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that, because it would be dangerous. Thank God, you know, I've had the presence of mind on that, if nothing else. because that is dangerous. But I'll be honest with you, as far as like the whole unaliving yourself thing, I hate that people call it that. The whole killing yourself thing, the suicidal tendencies, the depression, just all of that. I can't say I'm over it. Every day I'm still very much of the mind of like, I don't want to die. I don't think any of us really want to die. I mean, we have that built-in kind of self-preservation mechanism, you know, as it is. But decades of just being worn down from it and living it over and over, without it ceasing, without an end to it. I'm tired. I'm over it, and I just don't want to be here anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much more I can take before I don't have any more to give to this situation. You know what I mean? Now, I've been through all of that I've discussed today. Everything I've talked about today. I've been through all of that. And I'm still sitting here. So that has to say something. I don't know what that says, but it says something. I think if anything were to happen to my YouTube channel, you know, if I weren't doing this anymore, I don't really know what else I would have in my life to do. I know that sounds sad, but all my friends are kind of what I would call part-time friends. We don't hang out. We don't visit each other in our homes. We don't go out and get food. We don't go to movies. We don't go to events. We don't do anything. My friends can go days or weeks at this point without contacting me. If it weren't for the Discord server that I opened for this YouTube channel, I'd have lost contact with some of them a long time ago permanently. So I'm not getting any socialization in my life. That's also an issue, in my opinion, you know. Not that it would have changed anything in the past couple of years, because I've been so doped up on these antidepressants that I can't stay awake long enough to go anywhere and do anything. I put on so much weight, I can't go to a convention or anything and walk around all day. You know, I'm in pretty bad shape. So we're just gonna have to take it one day at a time. I know how cliche that is. I know how generic that is, but I don't have any real long-term plans. You know, I feel like my opportunities in life have pretty much all gone out the window. Kids, family, buying a house. I don't realistically see any of that for me, period. Especially the way things are right now, the housing market. Everybody's being paid peanuts. You know, minimum wage hasn't gone up even though we're in a recession and the cost of living has skyrocketed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have a government. We have a system of companies that act as overlords. So everything is bleak. So, like, even if you take me out of the equation, the world itself is pretty, like, fucked up and terrible. People who go through every day with, you know, thinking everything is sunshine and farts, I feel like you are being irresponsible. I get being positive. I get trying to be happy. But the fact that we are not, as a collective people, out rioting in the streets right now means that we have all collectively failed each other in our social responsibility to one another. And I will die on that hill. But sorry this episode has been bleak. But one of the things, and again, everybody kind of makes up their own mind about how much they share on social media or on the internet in general. And I feel okay sharing this. I'm an open book. I've been told a lot, especially in my adult life, that I might be on the autism spectrum somewhere. Maybe. I did have a lot of weird stuff as a kid that checked a lot of red flags as a kid. But I didn't know what autism was until I was an adult. I didn't know what autism was until I was in my 30s. You know, so I don't know. Maybe I have a tendency to overshare. Maybe it's just because I can go days without speaking to another real-life human being. That might cause me to, like, talk a lot. One thing I do notice, when I do talk, people tend to quit listening halfway through. So, I don't know if maybe I'm talking too much, or I don't know. I've never really understood that. Uchana. Carvana, huh? I'm gonna use Shrimish. Mega Drain, not the rage. Down he goes. I do want to at least finish this volcano arc today before we wrap things up here and call it. I also need to figure out what to name this episode on YouTube. Like I said, I'm going to name it something so that we can always, like, type it in and find this episode. Since I talked about some pretty important stuff today, we need to be able to come back and find this episode easily in the future. So I'll have to figure out what to name it. We'll fight Archie and call it a day. Like I said, if I don't fall asleep and sleep through the whole evening, I'll try to come back and do some more Metroid Federation Force. Like I said, it's the last Metroid game, officially Nintendo released Metroid game. We still have AM2R to play at some point. But, C is everything. It's important. It's paramount. Its importance is paramount. I never really understood the logic of Team Aqua and Team Magma. You need a balance of ocean and land. Overexpanding one or the other could be a detriment to all life on the planet. Okay, that bite did more damage than I thought it would. There we go. I was trying to get the burn. Okay. 'Cause I'm really tired of switching out for Numel. I really want it to start defeating Pokemon on its own. Ugh. Damn it! It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Shockwave! That's all that it did? Oh, no. You know what? Nah. Oh, what the? He used the super potion. My guy. Bum, 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 bum. Na, 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 na. I love this boss fight music. It's some of the best boss fight music in the franchise. Damn it to hell. You trying to piss me off, aren't you? Damn. Now I wish I still had the electrike to send out. No! Fusions! Oh, Marsh Tomp. Damn it. Come on, buddy, you got this. Pull through. How? How are you still standing or flying? Not a critical hit. Oh no. Uh-oh. Get him. All right, you super potion bitch. Faint already. Oh, I sent out the wrong Pokemon for this. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Yikes. All right, Shroomy, you're up. Not Scarifice. It's so scary. Ooh. Oh crap. Focus. Alright, we'll just have to use Flash a bunch and hope for the best. I think Sharpedo's his last Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it feels good to see all those missed attacks. Okay, I feel like we've got a good lead on him now. He's paralyzed, and his accuracy is in the toilet. I used all those flashes just for him to faint me after all. Well, you're still gonna have a hard time getting rid of Swalo. Goodbye. You're never going to win. Maxie, that was the other guy's name. Archie and Maxie. I don't know why I was blanking on his name. I broke your machine. Damn. I want to take this path and do some grinding. My entire team's wiped out. Alright. So I have to do a smidge. A little backtracking. Okay. This'll only take a second. I just need a minute. You hold on and just give me a minute. We're gonna heal, and then we'll go back. God, none of these Pokemon games are really, like, bike-friendly. Dun, 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 dun. I have a big headache. Move! Good Lord, it's just easier to do this. Boink! I still don't know what that does. Does it just raise accuracy or something? Poisoned. No. I was gonna catch you. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I'm real tired. I'm not gonna make it till tonight. I'm gonna have to have a nap. Spoink keeps a pearl on top of his head. The pearl functions to amplify this Pokemon's psychokinetic powers. It is therefore on a constant search for a bigger pearl. Show me what else you get. You again. One more wild encounter and we'll move on. Babu bot. Just another babu bot. That's gonna be all that's in this area, huh? Just Spoink and Noomal. Spoink and Babu Bot. I hear you barking. I don't know what you're barking about, but I hear you. You son of a bitch. Do we need to abandon raising Noomal? Because it's just been one confounded thing after another with this Pokemon. Does that even show up that well on camera? Mega Evolution Pendant. Oh, it's you. Why? Why? The good thing is, it barely did any damage because steel type, so. Sucks to be you. Oh, you want a piece too, huh? Okay, now stop that. Use explosion like your brother. I don't like where this is going. Oh. Wow, that looked really loud on the screen there. I didn't realize that was going to be so loud. I am getting very tired of this. Please just faint. We really need something a little meatier than water gun. Do we not have a TM for water pulse? Oh, that's gonna get me faint in a hurry. Whee! Almost there. Yeah. Yeah, we saved a guy in the cave. I thought we had to go in the cave and fight Team Aqua. No. Team Magma showed up, ran Team Aqua off, and we ended up going to Mount Chimney to fight them. I could have swore I remembered us actually fighting in the cave too, but no? Yay, we've been seeded. That's a good Friday night when you're in your 20s and 30s. Alright, you stink, bitch. Ha! You missed. You did miss one hell of a story time, too, let me tell you. I told. No, I opened up about like the last decade and some change about where I've been and what I've been up to and all the bullshit. And I was explaining why my YouTube content exists the way that it does, why I don't Markiplier it up, you know, why it's very cut and dry and, you know, my journey with antidepressants and how that all kind of went south. It didn't end well. Well, thank God we're finally off this route. Yeah, we can heal. We can heal. Yes, we know how hot springs work. Did she just say lava bath? Okay, I think I need to make room in my party for this egg. Yep. Oh, look at me. I know, right? Good Lord. Remember Red and Blue? Like just trying to get through Dark Tunnel or Dark Cave or whatever the hell that thing was called. No potions, no revives. I mean, I guess you could buy some potions, but I don't think you could buy revives yet. So it was fight a trainer, go back and heal. Fight a trainer, go back and heal. It was brutal. Oh, brutal. Okay. I gotta save and dip. I'll get this uploaded to YouTube and it should be ready by tonight. We'll have to make room in our party for that egg. I want to say it's an Azrael egg. Azrael? Meryl's first stage, whatever the hell that thing's, how you pronounce that. Alright. See you, everybody.